Welcome, students. My name is Aaron. This video is to help you prepare for your naturalization exam. I hope you will learn more about our country, the United States of America, and I hope you will practice English. I hope it will be comfortable for you and you will enjoy speaking with more people. Help me find more content to link to. There we go. This is a review of Week 8, Recent American History and Other Important Historical Information, and Holidays. In World War I, Woodrow Wilson was president. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was president in World War II. Here he is in 1945 with Winston Churchill and Joseph Stalin. He eventually became president, but he was the supreme commander. He was a general in World War II. He worked in Europe, but World War II also was in Asia. And here's a picture of the atom bomb. Okay, the Korean War. Yes, question 78 is about what wars did we fight in the 1900s or the 20th century. So here's the Korean War. Here's Korea right next to China, and you can see that there's the north and the south. And here's jet airplanes. Those were relatively new. They were just coming in at the end of World War II, but in the Korean War, there were new airplanes. Here's the Vietnam War. And here's Lyndon B. Johnson, who was our president at that time. And I can think of helicopters. I see lots and lots of helicopters. Now, I have one grandfather who was in the service before World War II. I was born in 1979 myself, and my mother's father was stationed in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, before the war, and he got out of the war, and he was being re-enlisted to go back into World War II. So my grandfather would have fought in World War II. Now for the Korean War, my father's father died when my father was very little, and so my step-grandfather is much younger, and he fought in the Korean War. He flew in bombers. Now my father and my roommate, they fought in Vietnam. Now the Gulf War here, this is a 1900s war. It happened in 1990. I watched this on television. The big thing that I remember about this is watching the bombs have a camera and come in to hit their target. So I think of the Gulf War as the one with all the smart bombs. And I watched this on television. It was nominally because Iraq invaded Kuwait. And you can see that they're there in orange. So, went back to Woodrow Wilson in World War I. So this is question 79. And Franklin Delano Roosevelt. So you can see that there's a dip here in gross domestic product. That is the Depression. It looks like it's marked here as between about 1930 and 1940. Now the war helped people get out of the Depression, and also it could have been FDR setting up infrastructure programs. My grandfather, who was not in World War II, he taught handwriting in a camp helped by Franklin Roosevelt. Okay, World War II enemies. I don't have the Japanese battle flag. The Japanese battle flag has rays coming out of the sun. That might be more appropriate. Here's the German flag, and it's a swastika, and that is not their flag anymore. So this is appropriate. And here's Italy, and I believe their flag was the same during the war. So you can see Italy and Germany are in Europe, and here's Japan in Asia. So here's something more about Dwight D. Eisenhower, and there's a picture of him in his military uniform. He was the 34th president. I may have said 43rd. He was the 34th. It's a big difference. I hear people say, "I like Ike." That was his campaign slogan, possibly, or other people just said it. But Ike is a nickname for this man. And Eisenhower, he helped build up the military and keep it strong after World War II. And he warned us about having too strong of a military industrial complex. So 34th president. Cold War communism. So USSR can also be called Warsaw Pact countries. And here's NATO, North American. Oh, I don't know what the TO stands for. But NATO is a group of people or of countries that will fight if another country is attacked. I'm surprised that Mexico is not in NATO. I would expect Mexico to be in NATO. But it's a treaty where if the Soviet Union attacks us, we all attack the Soviet Union. Okay, now we're on to civil rights. Actually, the Soviet Union is no longer, but Russia is gaining influence, or attempting to have influence on the rest of the world, and they may be trying to get back some of their former territory. Civil rights. Here is a march for jobs, and I think of lots of people walking with signs, and people of many different colors walking together, trying to help make sure that everybody is treated fairly. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is very famous. The county that I live in Washington State, used to be named for a different man named King, but they found out that they didn't like some of the things he did, so instead of changing the name of the county, they just changed the logo and said that our county is now named after this man, Martin Luther King Jr. And he's a very good speaker. I like listening to him. Alright, on September 11th, 2001, some terrorists hit the Trade Center with this is the World Trade Center. Some terrorists hit the Trade Center with aircraft, and they also hit the Pentagon, and there were some other bad things that happened on September 11th. I watched this on television. Okay, Native Americans. There were a lot of people here in North America before Westerners came. And this is kind of a map that depicts where different peoples lived. I'm going to try to read the names of these for you. I believe you only have to remember 2, but I'd like you to know more. Cherokee, Navajo, Sioux, Chippewa, Choctaw, Pueblo, Apache, Iroquois, Creek, Blackfeet, Seminole, Cheyenne, Arawak, Shawnee, Mohican, Huron, Oneida, Lakota, Crow, Teton, Hopi, and Inuit. Alright, we celebrate Independence Day on July 4th. We're into holidays now. So here's some other holidays. This is in Seattle. We have fireworks for Independence Day and New Year's. Those are the only days that I really see lots of fireworks. Yeah, New Year's Eve may also be a federal holiday, but New Year's Day is on the list of recognized answers. We celebrate Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. He was born January 15th, 1929, but we celebrate it on a different day. We celebrate it on the third Monday of January. Let's see, here is George Washington and President Lincoln. Lincoln without the beard. I like him with the beard. Oh well. President's Day is on the third Monday in February, and it's halfway-ish between George Washington's birthday and President Lincoln's birthday on the yearly calendar. Memorial Day and Labor Day. Memorial Day is the last Monday of May. I go see my grandparents' grave on Memorial Day. And Labor Day, I think I go buy ski equipment on Labor Day. That's what I think about Labor Day. It's the first Monday in September. It's typically right about the beginning of school, so it's nice to have an extra vacation day to get off, to catch back up on things. Columbus Day and Veterans Day. Here's a common saying. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Christopher Columbus is, I believe he's a Genoese Italian, and he worked for the Spanish, for Spain, and he brought Americans, or he brought Westerners, he brought Europeans to the Americas. And here is a veteran. We celebrate Veterans Day on November 11th. You can see some days, some holidays, we calculate it based on the day of the week. If we have a holiday on a Monday or a Friday, that's probably so we have a nice 3-day weekend, so we can go on a holiday. But Veterans Day is always November 11th. Don't know why that is. Thanksgiving and Christmas. Now, Thanksgiving is the 4th Thursday of November. I go to my aunt's house. I typically go to 2 different Thanksgiving meals, so I may get a little bit fat. We eat turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, casserole. We typically have a bean casserole and fruit salad with Jello, and then they have punch here. and December 25th. This is close to the solstice, where we have the shortest day of the year. Nominally, it's for Jesus' birth. So here's Jesus at the manger. And here's a Christmas tree. And the Christmas tree was a pagan symbol. Excuse me. Borrowed by the Christians. We give lots of gifts on Christmas. My family doesn't really celebrate Christmas. Not everybody who likes Jesus believes that he was born on December 25th, and many people are offended by all the gifts and pictures and stuff. Or not pictures, gifts and presents, spending of money. Now the day after Thanksgiving is a day when people buy lots of presents for Christmas, and we call the day after Thanksgiving Black Friday. I hope this is interesting to you. I hope I am speaking slow enough and clearly enough. We will have to revisit these videos. We will have to make some better content. I will have to practice speaking more. But right now, it's important that I get this out to you. Let's see if I can say